So special schedules are announced from time to time. You have to, and it's a residential campus, so there is no problem. The lab schedules have already been announced. I'm sure depending on which A1, A2, A3, A4, you have got the different timings between Monday through Friday. And this also will be available on the Moodle, so you can note it down as well. The lab assignments, as I told you, there are 12 of them. Then the lab problems will be told to you in advance. Each lab is essentially writing a Python program. And therefore, you can, and since you have got the interpreter with you even beforehand, you can practice, you can do the homework. So before you attend a lecture, before you attend a lab, pre-processing is very important. If you want to be a good student, the best way to learn is to do the homework before the class, not after the class. The after the class homework is less critical than what you do before the class. If you do homework before the class, if you do homework before the lab, you will find that your time spent here will be far more productive than what it is today. So the lab work, you can do it. Problems will be announced well in advance. This week we will just familiarize with you with the lab equipment and other things. The next week will be the assignments that will flow in actually. Now, usually you are supposed to submit the program which you will complete and hand it over at the end of the 2-hour session. And that will give you the full points. But if you don't do that, and if you take it home, that's permitted. You are allowed 1 extra day. Obviously, there will be some points which will be deducted for your not being able to finish well in time. Those who have finished well in time will obviously have some advantage. Each lab will carry 2 points, and there is an honors code throughout the course, which I will explain to you as to what do I mean by the honors code. Now, there will be a term paper. As I mentioned, each lab is very specific. Term paper is a little more larger. You can select a topic, form a team of 2 students, and select the topic. This will happen in the last month of the semester actually, when you have studied most of the features of the language. And the idea is to create a program, a comprehensive program in the Python language. And obviously the honors code applies for the term paper also. Homework will be 10 of them. You have to do that at home and submit it during the lab session. When you attend the lab, you have to submit the lab homework to the lab instructor. And then each one of them will carry 1%, and homework has to be submitted at the time of the lab. Honors code will also apply to the homework actually. There will be 2 mid-semester tests, each one of them about 90 minutes. 5 to 6 weeks of coverage of the lectures will be then taken up for the test. Each test will carry 15 points. Attendance in the test is absolutely mandatory, and the honors code will apply to the test as well. If you find anybody copying or doing any exchange of information, that will be taken very, very seriously. The end semester examination, obviously every course has one, and we will have also one which is of 180 minutes. Closed notes, closed book, obviously open mind, only your mind of course, not somebody else's mind. And 2 mid-semester tests, end semester attendance is compulsory. Now this is very important. This is the weightages that we give for different activities of the semester. 15% weightage for the first mid-sem, 15% weightage for the second mid-sem, 30% weightage for the end sem. That makes it about 60. Each lab will carry 2 points. So 2% multiplied by 12 will be 24%. Term paper will be 6%. And homework will be 10%. A total of 100% will be for the whole of the course. And depending on the distribution, every time we will tell what is the distribution in the course, and accordingly we will move forward. For my 4 lectures, I am going to use some books which also will be available in the reserve collection in the library. The most interesting book is this book. It's very available. The Innovators. This gives the history of computer science. And it's not simply chronological history. It tells how computer science is really evolved and what are the basic driving forces behind this evolution of computer science. So this will be one part. As far as the type of geometry problems or the other problems I mentioned, this is the other book that I will be referring to, Techniques of Problem Solving by Stephen Krantz. This is from University Press, Hyderabad. And we will also have enough copies in the library for the reserve collection. And then the programming, computer programming in C. Professor Rajaraman is a very famous professor in computer science, and he has got books on all the languages. I am using this book not for teaching you C language, but there are some common features which are there in the beginning, which I will take advantage of in this book actually. And therefore these 3 books, copies of these books will also be available in our library actually. And then besides this, I will also put up the URL. A lot of information is nowadays available on the internet. And I would like you to also take the note of these different, even Wikipedia will give you a lot of information and many other things actually. In fact, the whole of the Python language literature is available in the downloadable form. My colleagues will tell you how to get access to the Python language actually. So many URL links will be available. What is an honors code? Every educational institution has to have a contract with the student regarding the honesty and integrity. Okay. This is a very important thing in all international institutions, and we being very similar to one of the international institutions, we also would like to make sure that the honors code applies here. And what it means is the following, that you have to commit to this and also get it signed, which we will do in due course of time, that you shall conduct yourself all the time in a manner that is befitting the name of the family and the college, namely Mahindra E-Call Centra, shall not copy any intellectual work in any academic activity of mine, particularly related to this course, shall not receive nor give any assistance of copying in any test or examination to any fellow colleague. I mean, this is very important. Please make sure that you understand this. Later on, crying and alibi and excuses will not work with me. Please remember this, that this is very important. Please make sure that you understand it very well. I shall conduct myself with full honesty and integrity, and I shall respect all my colleagues and my teachers. So these are some of the things which you have to commit as a part of this course as a human being. As a matter of fact, these are some of the things followed in all the international universities. Attendance in all classes, lab sessions, and any other rescheduled activities is mandatory. No excuses will be entertained. Scholarship holders, particularly scholarship holders, must understand the attendance requirement, and record of attendance will be shared with anybody, particularly with your parents. And less than 75% attendance will invite very strict action. Any absence should be with the permission of instructor. Okay. Now we come to the third part of this lecture, which is related to the history. How the computing machines, there are a variety of computing machines that one can see over the last 100 years. And the evolution of computing machines is also very important to understand why we are today what we are actually sort of. You know? So there have been different kinds of attempts, such as difference engine, analytical engine, the Jacquard loom, the knitting machines, etc., etc. I want to go through all of them to just tell you the way you are going to do computing is not the way I studied when I was a student. I studied computing in a very different fashion. You are going to study computing in a very different fashion. So you will find that there is a difference in the whole technology, a huge difference, not simply a small difference. But to understand the past is equally important for all of us. So this, of course, most of you must have encountered some of the toys, some of the gadgets. Even the Chinese, for instance, had the abacus, which is there in the black, and then the one on the top is like a kindergarten toy, which students or the kids are used to tell them very rudimentary part of addition, subtraction, multiplication. So if you got pebbles and if you want to tell what is the division, so if you say 10 by 2, so you take 10 pebbles and then group them into 2s and you say, oh, this is 5. So 5 is the answer of it. So when you introduce alphabets or numerals to a kid, you will find variety of these machines or devices have been used for many, many centuries, not even today.